So, hi everybody, this is Brank Silsigna from Rapid Zona Radio Alba. We are here to the camp Youth is the Future camp from Outbreak Europe, the Lake is Blast. We are here because we have a European cultural project about hip hop. The name is Breaking the Walls. The partners are B Street, where I'm from. We have also Check the Style from L'Aquila, the Lake is Blast from Basca Bistritza, and Max Momentum Art Center from Porto. And today we have a special guest with us. Is Isabelle Tay. Is a specialist about psychologist, and she's mixed the psychologist with the dance. But now she's introduced herself.
Thank you very much for having me here in the interview. So my name is Isabelle Tay, and I am a research psychologist by training. I did a PhD in developmental and psychological sciences from Stanford University. And currently I also work in safeguarding, safe sport, protecting athletes against abuse and harassment. And besides that, I work generally in the mental health space, taking my personal experiences as a former dance sport athlete, as I used to dance professionally, full-time. I joined a lot of international competitions where I really found the necessity to focus on psychological well-being and mental health.
It's very interesting to have you with us because when we write the project, it's unusually focused that we put inside the project, our project, because we put the important things about mental training. Normally, the b-boy, the breakers, the rapper, the graffiti, or the DJ don't think about so much about the mental health, but everybody focus just to training with the body. But if you wanna be best with your body, you have to find also a good balance in your mind. That's why I want to talk to you, and I'm very curious to know why you decide to mix these two kind of things.
Yeah, so in my own personal experiences as a former athlete and also working with the athletes currently in my job, I can see that it's normal and very common that everyone just focuses on high performance, everyone just
True,
goes
exactly.
everyone just thinks about the result and how to achieve the goal. But really, if you think about the process behind how you can achieve the goal, you really have to prioritize your mental health, because that's the only way you can recover, you can have sufficient rest, and you can sustain that high performance training.
Also because I think it's very important to have a very good health about mentality, about mind, because when you decide to reach some goals in your life, especially for example with the dance, you have to sacrifice many things, especially the share with the other people, because you use the time to train your body and not to meet and have enjoy time with the other people. That's why during many years, about many years of training, maybe you start to lose something, and you feel that you lose something inside your mind, but you really don't understand which is the problem, and you try to resolve this problem to put more volume inside your body training, but it's not correct. It's better that you start in a different way to try to reach your goal.
Yeah, so I think what you're describing is what many athletes maybe encounter sometime in their career. When you are really focused on achieving a competitive goal and you just keep training, or you just start to lose the direction in which where you should train, how you can train to get better, and without having a clear direction and a clear way to view your current state and your current situation, then it's common that you would blindly train in an unclear direction. That's why I feel it's important to know exactly your goals and also the reason behind why you want to achieve those goals.
Yesterday night during your workshop with all the guys from You is the Future camp, you tell to us an episode of your life when you feel an injuries in your foot. I think that is the moment that you really decide to take this kind of direction. I understand, right?
Yeah, so yesterday during the workshop, I shared about a personal story when I was still dancing competitively. So I suffered from this chronic foot pain, and it was really hard for my training throughout my entire athletic career, because for dancing you really need to put a lot of pressure on your foot, right? And so the incident that affected me a lot is that I went to a lot of, like, I would say, legendary trainers, or just trainers I really looked up to because of their achievements and also their amazing dancing. And I found that these trainers weren't always very encouraging or very understanding of certain conditions that some dancers are facing. So they would try to tell me or imply in their words that I don't deserve to be there, or I don't belong if I actually cared about my injury. So they are trying to say that you have to be unbreakable, you have to be a superhuman, and then you can achieve.
It's so bad. It's so bad that kind of legendary dancer told these kind of words to you, because I think, I don't know if it's correct, you are the doctor and just a normal people, but how much is it important also take your time and reflect, especially when you have some injuries in your body.
Yeah.
Try to resolve the injuries not just with the body, but also before the body, you have to resolve the injury inside your mind. Is correct?
Yeah, exactly. So you can have physical injuries, and you can also have mental challenges, I would say, like, or just having some struggles internally, whether it's related to your dancing, your identity, or just not having enough support around you. There's a lot of ways in which athletes would need a bit more of encouragement from people around them to be able to sustain their very difficult journeys.
You tell another very important thing yesterday night, and you asked to us to write inside a paper if we have some special people around us that is like our support when we are in difficult. So how much is important take time in your life to share with the other people, not just when you are on the training time, but also in the normal time, also to take a coffee, go to the cinema, or just speak each other.
Yeah. So the point I wanted to drive yesterday is that in breaking or in dancing or in anything in life, in
Exactly.
fact, you will never really thrive alone. You always need some support around you. So the activity was to encourage the dancers to really reflect who is in their support circle, and to write it down on that piece of paper who they would turn to and who has their back. And I also mentioned to them, for some people, their crew map would look more full, they have more support system, and for some it might feel a bit empty, and that's totally okay, because they don't need to have a full picture at the moment. What's important is that they start to reflect on it and to see if they are lacking in the support system, what can they do about it, and if they want to build the support system, which is extremely important for them, what are the kinds of qualities that they would want to see in a good friend or in a good supporter, and also how can they support others in their community.
We write this project also because we reflect so much about the youngest, B-Street, the Legits, Check the Style, Max Momento Arsente. In the past 4 years, we was also involved inside the Olympic Games. So we watch very, very close the youngest, how much time they put inside this kind of journey to reach, to keep the gold medal. But we understand also that this kind of guy, the guys of new generation, they are very, very activity. They put many activity inside the social media. But when they are each other, closing, maybe in a room, nobody talk too much to each other. They became like a shameless to speak each other. That's why we understand that we try and we wrote this kind of project, because we wanna teach to the youngest to start again to have a real community around you is not just the community about the social media, but it's a real community with the real people. Don't be shameless to talk to another people. Also, if you don't understand the languages of the other man or the other people, but just to try to break in this kind of wall. That's why we call the project Breaking the Walls. We write a correct things is a question that I ask to you, that you are a professional about psychologist.
Yeah, so I think if I'm getting your question right,
Yeah,
about the digital age, right?
exactly.
So I think the youth of today, especially, they grew up in a very different environment from the people a few generations ago or even the last generation, because it feels like social media or everything which is online is such a huge part of their lives and such a important source of validation for them. So this is in some ways it can be a good thing because it helps you to connect with people across borders.
Rich information.
Exactly. But it also could be very dangerous if they find most of their sources of support or self-esteem or confidence and their validation from the likes on social media or something that is more performative rather than fostering more authentic connections in real life. Yeah.
We put three special words inside the project: talent, success, and fame, because we think that these three words sometimes the people made a mistake about what they words means, because they are three different words. And also not just about what they mean, this kind of words, but also the the right line to experience this kind of three words. What do you think about that? About talent, fame, and success?
So I think these three words are very loaded. They are very big
Especially
words.
fame.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of things to talk about. Each one of them.
Fame.
Fame.
Yes, exactly. And nobody's talking
Yeah.
about talent and success.
Yeah. So for fame, I think it's natural for human beings to want to see that they're being recognized. So this is a human need, I think,
Yeah.
to be
Yeah, it's correct.
to feel like you're being appreciated, to feel like people recognize you for what you have done or who you are. But also I think if we are chasing fame for ego, it could be quite dangerous. So for me, the healthiest thing is if you seek fame, but through the process you stay very true to yourself and you understand that the work that you do serves not just yourself but also your community. So if you are famous for bringing more good to society, then fame and success would actually come as a natural byproduct of the actions that you take. And this is, I feel, the most psychologically healthy way and the most sustainable way to go forward.
Thank you so much, Isabel. Last question: if you have, if you meet some youngest people, and you have to tell to him some advices, which ones it is the best advice that you can say?
I guess I would talk about being taking care of their mental well-being. I would say to them, well, I know that you are chasing, or I know that you have a lot of things that you want in your life, and I know that it's likely that you face a lot of pressures, whether it is from school or from dancing from people around you. But it's important that as you dance or as you train, that you take care not just about your craft or your art, but also about your mind, because your mind and your emotions are really what can build your inner resilience and drive your progress in the long run. So it's important to take care of both your mind and your body.
Thank you so much, Isabel. And I hope that you maybe involve much more inside our project because we're talking about how much is important do a mental training. So you are a professional, so maybe you can help us much better to reach our goal inside
Yeah,
our
I'll be
project.
happy to. Yeah,
Thank you so much. When we finish our interview, we say always stay fresh.
Stay fresh.
Stay fresh.
Stay fresh.
The next episode. Bye, everybody.
Bye.